think of cohesion, I think of a sense of community belonging.
To be unified and
Cohesion means being connected and safe.
relationship and a friendship.
It means being economically invested into your own community.
During our first week of research in South Shore, we observed safety concerns along with vacant businesses and low foot traffic, indicating limited economic activity. We also noticed a few positive social interactions, prompting us to study the importance of social bonds for community public health. We discovered that the most influential academic definition of social cohesion, provided by the Journal of Applied Social Psychology, we paraphrase this as the formation of a united community with strong social bonds, safety, and pride.
Our question is, how does social cohesion help to explain and possibly provide a remedy for the public health and economic challenges facing South Shore? The lack of social cohesion in South Shore is at the center of a model of community revitalization and is both an effect and cause of key public health and economic problems in the community.
How are each of the following 4 health outcomes in our model intercausally related to social cohesion in South Shore? Low perception of community safety, high crime, low economic activity, and high unemployment.
The data shows that South Shore has a very low level of social cohesion. Community belonging is the metric that the Chicago Health Atlas uses to measure a community's social cohesion. According to this heat map, South Shore has one of the lowest levels of community belonging in the city. South Shore has a community belonging rate of 38.3%. Nearly 2/3 of South Shore residents don't feel a strong connection to their neighborhood. Compared to South Shore, Beverly's community belonging rate is 70.5%, nearly double the level of social cohesion as is measured in South Shore.
In our community survey, we asked South Shore residents their views on topics related to social cohesion. We asked if they felt as though the community is unified. 67% of respondents said no or unsure.
The research led us as a team to create our own model of community revitalization, which identifies 4 factors that all tie into social cohesion: low sense of community safety, high crime rate, low level of economic activity, and high unemployment. In our model, these 4 factors are the soul of social cohesion. All 4 factors are intercausally related to the heart of our model of social cohesion.
A person's perception of safety influences community belonging. This graph illustrates the connection between neighborhood safety rate and the community belonging rate. When members of the community feel more safe, there is more social cohesion. South Shore has a lower safety rate of 23.8% compared to Beverly's high rate of 84.4%. According to a 2013 National Institute of Justice study, perceptions of social cohesion had a statistically significant effect on residents' fear of crime. Those who had high perceptions of social cohesion had a less fear of crime.
When looking at actual levels of crime beyond the perception of safety, the data shows that South Shore is extremely violent. In Chicago as a whole, 357 per 10,000 residents are crime victims annually. In South Shore, that percentage is 61% higher, while South Shore crime victimization percentage is more than 3 times higher than Beverly's.
High levels of criminal violence have a negative effect on social cohesion. The more dangerous the community, the less involved the people are in their community. We can see this through the data that major crime in Chicago, specifically South Shore and Beverly, in comparison to the community belonging rate, South Shore has the 6th most criminal activity out of Chicago's 77 neighborhoods. Sociologists Eric Scherpt and John Roman presented a research paper to the John Jay College of Research and Evaluation in 2021. It included social cohesion is associated with an inverse relationship, with changes in crime, declines in crime are associated with an increase in social cohesion, which is an expected relationship. This shows an intercausal link between violence and social cohesion.
To fully understand the low level of economic activity in South Shore today, we first must understand its historical context. In the 60s, white flight caused rapid disinvestment, leading to businesses pulling out of South Shore. According to the Chicago Encyclopedia, South Shore was 99% white in 1930 and reported only 6% of all business addresses vacant. Fast forward to this century and a majority black population, and South Shore reported a whopping 56.1% of all business addresses vacant. Through this authoritative data, we clearly see how the economic and business environment, one of the vital pieces to cohesive communities, crumbles after the loss of its white population, and not coincidentally business investment.
According to data collected from the 2020 South Shore's quarter study, South Shore's overall retail vacancy rate is 46%, 4.6 times higher than the city's average. These high vacancy rates clearly show the extent of disinvestment our community experiences. These vacancies make it hard for South Shore to retain businesses and attract customers, worsening the economic climate.
South Shore has not economically rebounded from the pandemic, evident from the low foot traffic in its retail corridors. Despite its excellent walkability, the South Shore only recorded an average of 6,000 daily pedestrians on its 3 main corridors. Despite having half of South Shore's population, Beverly reports a monthly pedestrian rate 3 times higher, underscoring the current economic struggles in our community while neighboring areas recover.
Low economic activity in South Shore, revealed quite clearly in the data, feeds low social cohesion, and lower social cohesion in turn feeds lower economic activity. According to Harvard University government professor Robert Foa, in a 2011 article titled "The Economic Rationale for Social Cohesion," quote, Engagement in community activities has a significant association with measures of health and educational attainment, and economists have found a robust association between social institutions and economic well-being in the form of both household income and aggregate economic growth, unquote.
Additionally, a 2% increase in one social cohesion scale is sufficient to produce a 28% point difference in a community's economic growth in just under 2 decades.
Closely related to the level of economic activity in a community is its level of unemployment. Our researchers have found a high unemployment rate in South Shore. It has stayed mostly steady at around 17% to 18%, though it spiked in 2013 to 23%. Chicago overall had an unemployment rate of 14% in 2013 and is currently at 8%. In Beverly, the unemployment rate is currently 7%, lower than the city's average, and one of the lowest unemployment rates of any community in Chicago.
Unemployment and social cohesion are deeply interconnected. Unemployed individuals have difficulty investing in their communities, while disconnected communities promote isolation, asocial behavior, and more. As King's College professor Dr. Anthony Bradley wrote in a 2008 paper entitled Unemployment and Social Cohesion, quote, joblessness has a profound effect on the social stability of families and communities. High level of joblessness are catalysts for breakdowns in social organizations with issues ranging from crime, violence, and more, unquote.
We propose 2 community-centered policies to adjust the nature of social cohesion. This will improve all community revitalization factors, including public safety, employment, and economic opportunity.
First, we advocate for more community events to be held in local parks. The South Shore Community Cultural Center will oversee these. To kick this off, they will host the South Shore's Summer Bash in Rosemont Park. The event will appeal to residents of all ages, children, adults, pets, aunties, and uncles, and will feature bouncy houses, food trucks, and carnival activities.
Some may question if people will show up to these park events, yet one park event hosted pre-COVID had nearly 4.2 thousand attendees and 16,000 citizens interested. Indeed, Cohen and Lushner argued that marketing significantly increases the efficacy of park events. In their study, the use of advertisement was associated with a 62% increase in the number of park users. South Shore Summer Bash will have a fulsome marketing campaign to raise interest and build involvement.
Furthermore, these heat maps produced by the University of Chicago's research on the neighborhood green space and crime show the negative correlation between park visits and crime rate. The darker blue areas mostly align with the lighter red areas. The number of park visits there are, the lower the crime rate. Engaging with parks will incrementally reduce South Shore's crime rate and address the hub of our community revitalization model.
The South Shore Cultural Center will supervise park events. It receives sufficient funds from the Chicago Park District, who declared that, quote, they will bring $70 million in projects to parks with a focus of the city's south and west sides, end quote.
Our second policy response is to establish Michelle Obama South Shore Celebration Center as a permanent room in the soon-to-be-open Obama Center. The room will feature panels and videos of her in the South Shore community. A distinguished annual award will also be given to a local business for contributing the most to social cohesion in the South Shore community.
The Obama Foundation has raised more than $1 billion on its way to reach its goal of $1.6 billion. The real availability question is rather than the availability of funds, is will the Obama Foundation find the Michelle Obama South Shore Celebration Center worthwhile to invest in? We believe that the answer is yes.
Senior fellow at Policy Link Rubin states, quote, arts and cultural studies are inherently social. They connect people to their neighbors to a sense of being part of something bigger than themselves, to a sense of that they have a future in this place, unquote.
We believe that these data-supported policies will bring positive attention, pride, positive incentives for residents, and new opportunities to South Shore. We, South Shore, will rise!